Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity basketball is live and on the air. We're here on the campus of Pioneer High School in the main gym where it is your Pioneer men's varsity basketball team taking on the Monroe Trojans in a battle of SEC red teams. Unfortunately, it does take about 10 minutes for one broadcast to end and the next to start, so we missed broadcasting the senior night, and I really wish we could have, as they had Dumboya Manga out there, McCoy, Rink, Powell, Gary, Karsh, Lee, McVicker, and Tedla all honored as seniors before the game. And it has been a joy to watch these players throughout their career. We are very grateful for all the time and effort they've spent on these teams and bringing us a lot of enjoyment getting to watch them. And I know senior night is always bittersweet because you know they're going to go on to do amazing things, but you know you're not going to get to see them wear the Pioneer purple much longer. Did you ever have, and we have Coach Ahrens with us today as helping us out today on color commentary. Was it ever hard on senior night to kind of rein in emotions, kind of having that celebration beforehand, or is it something that you could use to motivate your team?
Oh, both actually. Senior night is important to most seniors, and it's just a special game. No matter who the opponent is that night, you're at home. And you want to get a W. You probably are going to get more minutes, but not necessarily. It depends on the coach.
And we got a lot of seniors, so it's hard.
We got a lot of seniors, but think about it, Mark. Some of these kids probably first picked up a ball maybe second or third grade, played all the way through the elementary program, middle school, freshman, JV, and varsity. That's many years of dedication.
Absolutely. We also want to thank the parents of those seniors who have taken them tirelessly to the gym at crazy hours in the morning or the evening and been at all the games. And it's a big commitment to be the parent as well, not just the athlete.
It's an entire family. It's a team effort.
Absolutely. Well, I know you got a chance to talk to the coaches a little bit beforehand, and we have a little extra time. So what did you hear from the coaches?
Well, I did a little homework, first of all, with Monroe, and I didn't realize that the program's been down a number of years. The last winning season for Monroe was 2014-15 when they finished 11-9. And there's been several coaches in between attempting to build a program. But this year the head coach, I should say new head coach, is Andre Smith. This is his first year. He's got an impressive resume. He's coached a lot of college basketball, and he's played professionally here in the States in the IBL, the league I used to coach in. We shared a couple stories. Our team met. He's played in Europe. He's did some work for the Pistons, and he's just shared some stories with me. The many challenges your first year in trying to change that whole environment and that culture.
Absolutely.
And working with the parents and the administrators and the athletic director. I don't know if you mentioned earlier or not, but they played earlier this season in Pioneer, 172-34.
Indeed.
And Coach is concerned about a couple of things. Pioneers' athleticism, that they're so rounded as an athlete and they can do so many things and keep their transition game in check. And we both know Pioneers' transition game is one of their strong points when they get out and running. And I was just telling Coach Bonk this, man, when you guys get that ball off a defensive turnover and you have all five in that attack mode, you are tough to stop. And if you don't get a score, you're going to at least get to the line.
Indeed.
So Coach Smith is aware of that. He said there were three things tonight that he thinks they have to do very well. Take care of the ball. Every possession is going to be very important. and maybe have to make that extra pass and be patient on offense. He wants to win the rebound war and try to control the tempo of the game. Pioneers coach Bonk filled in for Coach Marion tonight, and he said the last 3 weeks have been great practices. The last 30 days, and he mentioned the roles that these seniors have accepted their roles, whatever it may be on this team.
Indeed.
And he said 3 things. Again, rebounding.
Absolutely.
So we will keep a close eye on that statistic. He wants the transition game to go, so they'll push the gas pedal. And Coach Marion has said this before, and I think I mentioned it. He's a defensive-oriented coach like me, and he likes man-to-man, but he wants to play a smart defense. Play smart. Let's not make stupid turnovers.
Sure,
reach.
sure.
We want to play, and that's hard to teach.
Absolutely.
To play aggressive, but at the same time, you got to be very, very careful.
Know where that limit is between aggressive and getting that foul and getting yourself in trouble.
Keeping your feet balanced, staying between your man and the rim, and when you reach, you got to be careful. A lot of times when you reach, you're off balance. I used to teach this instead of when we go for a ball going over the top of the ball.
Yeah.
Which official can see. We call it dig up. We try to come up underneath it and pop it out of the hands. Any little gimmick that I could use to improve our defense, I use.
Absolutely.
But defense is the toughest part of the game to teach. Kids want to shoot the ball.
Oh yeah, it is exceedingly important and yet unsung on the stat sheet, especially in high school where we might not be able to track block shots and steals and things like that, all that effort on the defensive side causes. Do a great job. Kim does an awesome job getting turnovers and things like that. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You said a couple things. I know Harrison has the lead, has the tie for the lead in average of points, and he is coming up upon the MHSAA record on steals, so we'll keep that in mind. I'll have to look up what that record is, but he's coming out of there. Karsh leads in rebounds, and Powell shares the lead in points. So a couple things about these teams. Pioneer is 9-8 on the season. As you mentioned, they 2 teams played earlier in the season. That was away at Monroe, 72 to... Or was I just had 72-34? Pioneer won that one, so you hope they're hoping to hold serve on their own court. 3-14 is Monroe. They started off. They had a losing streak going until they won the last game, which was a makeup versus Dundee. But they had a 7-game losing streak from back on the 7th versus Grosse Ile. So they're going to look to. They had a big win versus Dundee. So they're going to look to try and keep that going, try and get that winning ways happening out there. Now, taking a look at the SEC Red, Huron is 10-0 in the SEC Red. They have the lead. Pioneer right behind them at 7-3 in number 2 in the SEC Red. Then followed by Skyline and Lincoln, 6-4. Dexter 4-4. Bedford, Saline, and then Monroe is 0-10. On that season. So Pioneer 3 games behind Huron, trying to chase them in the SEC White. It's Adrian with the lead, 7-0, 5-1. Tecumseh 3-3, Jackson 3-4, Chelsea, Ypsilanti 2-5, and Pinckney 0-7 out there. So that is a little bit about these 2 teams. And do you know? Were you able to talk to our officials? Do you know a little bit about them?
And I'd like to say a few extra words about officiating.
Please continue. Absolutely, absolutely.
Just a reminder, I was a registered official for 25 years, boys and girls, and I started out in elementary, middle school, and moved my way up. And it is a tough job.
Oh, it's a thankless job, but we got to have the officials.
And after the JV game tonight, I caught the older gentleman headed to the locker room and introduced myself and said, I really haven't noticed this season. Are 3 officials or 2 doing JV games? He says around here it's always 2. There's a shortage of officials. It saves the school money.
Sure.
And I asked him how long he was doing, and he said about 20 years. And he just started doing it when he was like 50. He's 71.
Sure. Wow. Nice.
And I thanked him for doing a good job, and he says, what I get out of this, I get a little exercise, and I make a couple bucks on the side.
There you go.
And I stay close to the game.
Oh, yeah. They had a young gentleman officiating, too, which was great to see.
Oh, man.
Love to see the young people come up.
Yeah.
You love all this experience, but you got to have them come up the ranks to have new officials, too.
Right,
So
right.
love to see the young gentleman there, and he was doing a great job as well.
Right, and I'm glad you said that. He was doing a great job. And fans and parents and coaches got to be patient with a young official. It takes
Absolutely.
time like any other job to learn your trade, to learn your
You need a
skill.
certain number of reps to be able to see things fast, live, and it's an ever-changing game. It's very dynamic, so it's hard to see everything.
As a matter of fact, the three officials tonight thanked us for doing this. You make the call and
Nice.
introductions. They said that's a touch of class. Tonight's officials are Dave Siegel. He's been on the court doing varsity level 25 years.
Wow.
Brian Earl has been doing it 26 years.
Wow.
And the kid on the squad is Dennis Busey, who's been doing it 20.
Only 20.
So a total of 71 years.
That is impressive. That is absolutely impressive. And like I said, you don't have to agree with every call they make, but we cannot have the games we love without officials. And if you consistently think, boy, I could do a better job, reach out to your coach, reach out to the MHSAA, and get in the game. Help us with the official shortage.
And you don't have to start officiating the game. Go to the coach, do some scrimmages,
Yeah.
some inter-squad games, whatever, just to get some experience and work your way up.
Absolutely. It's something we find in every sport that we are really having an issue with officials. So please, next time you think about making a holler at an official, think twice about it, because it's not an easy gig. And now, ladies and gentlemen, down to America, we will have the national anthem. As we are getting ready for the starting lineups. By the way, this is our 996th broadcast since we started in 2016 with Pioneer Men's Hockey, the Pioneer Men's Lacrosse. So road to 1,000, and our 1,000th broadcast, if everything goes properly this weekend, will be on Wednesday, the women's varsity basketball game. So excited to get that 1,000th broadcast. It's just a number, but it feels special to me.
Oh,
so.
man, it's not just a number, Mark. That's special. That doesn't happen that often, and I'm glad I could be part of this.
And
man.
we are privileged to get to do that and do our small part to try and bring you a little closer to those games so you can't be there. So Frazier starting for Monroe.
For Pioneer, senior forward Micah Powell.
Powell starting for Pioneer.
From Monroe, number 22, junior forward Carlos Perry.
Perry, starter for Pioneer, or for Monroe, excuse me.
11, a senior forward, it's A.J. Karsh.
A.J. Karsh, Alex Karsh coming out onto
For the
the
Trojans, number 30, junior center Cooper Robinson.
Robinson coming out for the
For
Trojans.
Pioneer, number 23, senior forward Nevin McVicker.
McVicker comes out starting for Pioneer. Another one of the seniors getting the start.
Number 5, senior guard Colin Steele.
Steele comes out for Monroe.
Number 1, senior guard Tyson McCoy.
Tyson McCoy, another senior getting the start for Pioneer.
For Monroe, number 11, sophomore guard Brady Brooks.
Brooks comes out for Monroe.
For Pioneer, number 4, a senior guard is Brandon Rink.
And senior Rink comes out as he gets the start for Pioneer.
The head coach of Monroe, Andre Smith, assisted by
So Andre Smith, the head coach for Monroe. Rich Marion, the head coach for Pioneer.
by Lawrence DeWolf. And the third team on the court tonight, the officials.
And of course the officials who Coach Aaron's introduced to you. And we appreciate them and their services. Getting ready for a little senior night action here at the gym. We appreciate you joining us as we head quickly towards the end of winter sports season. I don't believe it that, I don't know where the year has gone, but we're coming towards the end pretty quick. Ready to get things underway as Powell. Ready for the tip versus Robinson. Set up, Powell sends it into the backcourt. McCoy has it for Pioneer. As we're underway, McCoy brings it over midcourt for Pioneer. McCoy comes over onto the near wing now. Gets a screen from Powell over to Rink. Rink on the far sideline. Into the far corner for McVicker. McVicker back to Rink on the far wing. Rink works his way over McCoy on the near wing. Comes top of the key. Back over to Rink. Rink thought about it. Now gets it over to Powell on the near wing. Powell comes top of the key. Back over to Rink. In along the baseline. McVicker bounce pass to Powell. Now McCoy on the near wing. All the way across the Rink in the far corner. Now on the baseline. McVicker. And that just popped out of bounds. That will be Monroe's ball. 7:22 left to go here in the first. Monroe bringing it ahead as that's Brooks with it. Brooks over midcourt for the Trojans. McCoy picks him up there. Is that in along the near boards? It's Perry with it. In along the baseline. Perry gets it back. That's stolen away. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Powell. Powell into the paint. Puts it up with the right hand. Off the rim. Wouldn't go. And pulled down. Steele heads the other direction. Over to Robinson. Tipped away by McCoy. Good job to get into the passing lane. Stop the fast break and force Monroe to take their time and actually have a half-court set here. Brooks to inbound. Baseline right. Brooks looking for a place to go with it as that bounces all the way into the backcourt and out of bounds. That will be Pioneer's ball on the near sideline with 6:55 left to go here. Scoreless so far. As it's going to be Monroe ball as the officials saw a Pioneer touch that I did not. Baseline right. Now they'll talk things over. Again, official in much better position to see that than me. Brooks to inbound. Baseline right. Brooks now gets it into Robinson. Robinson on the near wing. Robinson top of the key over to Steele. Steele over on the far wing to Brooks. Brooks back to Steele on the near wing. Steele coming down on the near side of the paint. That popped away. Stolen away by McVicker. McVicker over to Rink. Rink brings it ahead for Pioneer. Scoreless so far. 6:35 left to go. McCoy for three. Eddie hits it. McCoy with the first dagger of the game, and it's 3-0. Pioneer with the lead. 6:28 left to go. Brooks brings it over midcourt. McCoy picks him up there. Brooks over onto the near wing. Moves that over to Steele. Steele on the near sideline. Steele works his way around the three-point line into the paint. That knocked away. McCoy with it. McCoy quickly ahead to Karsh. Karsh has it on the baseline. Bounce pass over to Ring. Ring over to McCoy as that's on the far sideline for Powell. Powell right in front of the Monroe bench underneath the Karsh. Karsh grabs it off the deck. Bounce pass back to McCoy. Now Powell for three. Off the rim, trying to pull it down his Rink. And that's grabbed by rebound leader. Karsh gets that into the near corner. That put up for three. Off the rim, pulled down. Here comes Monroe the other direction. Down by three. Brooks has it into the paint. Brooks up with the right hand and in as that will count and one. So Brooks gets 2 points. McCoy will pick up the foul. That's his first foul of the game by either team.
A lot of action here in this first minute, both ends.
Absolutely, back and forth. Good defense both ways. Brooks to the line, trying to get it to a 1-point game. He'll bend the knees, eye the rim, put it up, that in. So Brooks evens it up, that should be 3 points. There it is, so it's 3-3, game tied. As that ball over onto the near wing. Powell with it. Powell gets it to McVicker at the free throw line. Back to Rink. Now over on the far sideline for McCoy. Powell with it. Straight on for Rink. Now McCoy puts up a three-pointer from the far wing and he hits it. McCoy with 2 3-pointers in a row. He has 6 points and it's 6-3. Pioneer with the lead. 5:12 left to go here in the first as Brooks brings it at for Monroe. Brooks on the near wing. Brooks into the near corner being watched by McCoy. That up, top of the key for Steele. Steele gets it over to Perry. Perry on the far wing. Perry right inside the blockades. Now comes over down the far wing. Perry puts up a long two off the front, the back of the rim. Trying to pull it down. Robinson out of bounds. That's going to stay the Trojans' ball as they'll inbound it baseline right. Brooks there to inbound. By the way, we do want to thank a couple folks listening. The Karsh family would like to thank cousin Mikey and cousin Brady. From Toronto and San Diego watching. We are very grateful. There's a big block out there by Karch. So just mentioned the Karch family over McCoy. Has it, McCoy for three. McCoy off the rim, pulled down. Good job by McVicker to get that rebound. Back to McCoy. All the way over to Powell now. Straight up, Rink has it. McCoy on the near wing. McCoy looking over to his left. Gets it to Powell. Now to McVicker over for Rink for three. He hits it. Rink with three, and it is 9-3. Pioneer with the lead on 3 3-pointers. 4:20 left to go here in the first. Brooks brings it ahead for Monroe over midcourt. Brooks working against McCoy on the near wing for Robinson. Robinson working his way around, comes top of the key now over on the far wing. Gets it in the far corner for Brooks. McCoy keeping watch on him. Brooks back over to Robinson. Robinson being watched by McVicker. Now in along the near wing. That grab by Frazier. Frazier trying to come down the baseline. Dumps it underneath to Robinson, up and in. So Robinson with 2. Assist to Frazier, and that's 9-5. Pioneer with the 4-point lead. As Karsh gets it over to McCoy. Pioneer with it in the front court. Rink back to McCoy. Now Rink on the near wing. Into the near corner. McVicker for 3. That off the rim. Pulled down. Karsh has it. Karsh trying to knock it off of one of the Monroe players, but they're able to pick it up quickly the other direction. As that's in along the far baseline with it, Frazier. And put up and in for Frazier, so Frazier has 2 points. And it is 9-7. Frazier came down and he twisted his right ankle. He is in some pain. We hope he's all right. As trainer comes out to take a look at him, that is a unpleasant feeling at best. So I'm very familiar with that. Where my driveway, as I was a kid, had a drain with about a square, like went about 2 inches down around it, and I managed to twist my ankle on that more times than I can count. So good that I'm on the microphone and nowhere near the court, but that's okay.
Was there ice on the surface? No. Or?
Oh no, it was just right in the middle of the driveway, a little a square that had about 2-inch drop around it that I managed to catch my foot on fairly regularly. It's okay. That taught me to get high tops as quickly as I could. Again, a real unpleasant feeling rolling that ankle, especially if you get that high ankle. It's unpleasant at best.
That just happened to a Piston the other night.
Indeed, absolutely. As McCoy has it for Pioneer in the front court. Gets it over on the near wing to Powell. Powell. It's it up for a three, and off the front, the back of the rim. Tough luck miss there. Picked up by Brooks, headed the other direction. Down by 2. Monroe has the ball as Brooks right over midcourt. McCoy watching him. Brooks comes over on the far sideline, hands it off to Steele. Steele comes to the top of the key. Steele coming down right on the baseline now. Moves it back on the near wing. And it's sent back over to Perry here. Perry trying to work his way down the near side of the paint. That up off the glass, off the rim, popcorn around, hold down. Here comes Pioneer with it. Racing down the far side is McCoy. McCoy all the way across to Powell on the near wing. Good job by Powell to get that pass as Karsh has it top of the key. Karsh over into the near corner for Powell. Powell coming down the baseline. Powell puts it up with the right finger, rolling in. Well, if the three-pointer isn't working, you can get yourself going. Good job to charge to the rim and make it an 11-7 lead. 2:14 left to go here in the first. Brooks for Monroe has it. gets it over to Steele on the far sideline, right in front of Coach Marion. Steele gets a screen from Robinson, comes top of the key. Karsh watching Steele. Steele over on the near wing to Brooks. Brooks has Rink out on him, gets a working to get a screen there from Harvell. Now right to the top of the key. Over to Steele. Steele just inside the blockades. Steele gets a screen from Harvell. Now over onto the near wing. And picked up. Perry to the free throw line. Now over into the far corner. That put up by Brooks. Off the rim. Fall down. And brought it together by Karsh. Karsh moving ahead to Powell. Powell into the paint. Puts it up off glass. Couldn't go as that came down. And Brooks has it. Brooks coming ahead for Monroe. Over on the near wing to Perry. Perry works his way, top of the key. Perry trying to get it. Karsh with the steal. Karsh head to McCoy. McCoy in the paint, up with the finger roll in the right hand. McCoy with 8 points. Good steal by Karsh, and it's 1:12 left to go here in the first. 13-7. Pioneer with a 6-point lead. Brooks brings it over midcourt. Brooks on the near wing, into the near corner. Brooks now trying to get it over to Steele. Steele on the side of the paint. Up the baseline, underneath the basket. Bounce pass over. That put up by Robinson. Pulled down. Another rebound by Karsh. Over to McCoy. McCoy comes on to the near wing. McCoy to the baseline on the near wing. Now into the paint. Put up for McVicker. Put up with the left hand. Off the rim. Wouldn't go, but there's a foul on Robinson. Robinson's first foul. One on both teams. Now Harrison ready to come in for Pioneer. Phillips on the other side for Monroe. First shot up by McVicker, nothing but net on that one. So McVicker with the point, trying to make it 2. It's now a 7-point lead off the back of the rim. Karsh with another rebound. He has been fantastic on the boards early in this game. McCoy puts up a three-pointer off the front, the back, the glass. Wouldn't go. Pulled down by Brooks. And here comes Monroe the other direction with 33 seconds left. Steele has it on the near wing. 14-7. Pioneer with the lead. Stolen away by Rink. Here comes Karsh. Karsh gets it over to McCoy on the near wing. 25 seconds left to go. Pioneer passes off the Rink, top of the key. Now over to Powell for a three. Oh, off the rim in the glass. Wouldn't go. Brooks with the rebound with 13 seconds left to go. Monroe brings it ahead, down by 7. McCoy standing at midcourt, picks up Brooks there. Brooks. Now just off the blockades, 2 seconds left. Brooks into the near corner, that for 3. And that wouldn't go. So at the end of 1, it is Pioneer 14 and Monroe 7. What did you see in that first quarter, Coach?
Well, it's this is kind of funny. I'm making some notes here. I always make notes on offense and defense, and critical of Monroe's. They're playing a 2-1-2 zone defense, and they're playing small. They're playing aggressive and good defense, but they're playing small. By that I mean their hands are down.
Sure.
We always have, if you're in the paint, I don't care what position you play big with your hands up. Suddenly a 6'1" guy now looks 6'4", especially if they got a big wingspan.
Indeed.
Now look at the other end, and Pioneer, same thing. They're seeing the ball, they're seeing their man, they're in good position floor-wise, but in the paint, they're playing small. So you don't have to get a steal with your hands up like that, or even a deflection. It takes away the visibility of the player with the ball.
Sure, absolutely.
The player will hesitate. I can't pass through that guy. So that's like the final touch on playing good man-to-man or zone defense for me.
And something actually we heard from the Pioneer freshman coach as we were setting up is he kept on saying hands up, hands up, hands up to his team. Trying to drill that in early.
Couple quick stats. Pioneers 2 of 4 from the 2-point field goals and 3 of 10, 30% from the arc.
Brooks to inbound for Monroe. McCoy watching him. That gets in. As a good job to grab that, to bring it ahead as Phillips had it. Now back to Brooks. Brooks on the blockades. Trying to get it underneath. Tipped away by Harrison. So he was trying to knock that away from his player. That'll stay Monroe ball. Brooks will inbound baseline right with 7:50 left to go. And in as Harvell has it on the near wing. Back over to Steele, top of the key. Steele Back on the near wing to Brooks. Brooks trying to bounce pass over to Harvell in the paint. That's just a little too strong. Pulled down by Powell. Powell headed the other direction over to Harrison. Harrison in the paint. Harrison with the finger roll. That off the glass and off the rim. Wouldn't go, but a whistle. Let's see if it's a blocking foul or not. Looks like it's a blocking foul on Steele, so that will be his first foul. First of the quarter for either team. So Harrison comes in, he gets himself right to the line, attacking the basket. Dribbles the ball, spins it, eyes the rim, puts it up, off the front, the back of the rim, and in. Harrison with his first point of the game. 15-7, Pioneer makes it an 8-point lead. Harrison can make it a 9-point lead.
McCoy, Powell, and Harrison are doing a good job of attacking the rim with the dribble.
Indeed. Up by Harrison, and he hits them both. So 16-7, Pioneer with the lead. Monroe inbounds baseline left. Perry gets it back to Brooks. Brooks brings it up court. McCoy picks him up just before midcourt. Now Brooks over to Steele on the near sideline. Quickly double teamed. That's stolen away. Coming ahead with it. Moved over and slammed by McCoy. Or excuse me, by McCoy. By Powell, forgive me. Slammed by Micah Powell. So Micah Powell gets that over and puts it down. Fantastic job, and a good job to get above the rim, put that into unselfish movement, putting things back and forth, and that makes it 16-7. That is Powell's fourth point. So far McCoy has 6 points, Harrison 2, 3 for Rink, and 4 for Powell, 1 for McVicker. So far for Pioneer. On the other side, it's 2 for Robinson, 2 for Frazier, and 3 for Brooks. Out there you have Powell, as well as Bailey, Harrison, and Karsh. Brooks brings the ball ahead. McCoy picks him up. Brooks over midcourt. Brooks on that far sideline. That launched over onto the near sideline. Knocked away from Phillips. Good defense by Karsh to knock that away. Brooks will have to inbound again. Baseline right with 7:06 left to go before halftime. As there's a shot that put in. I believe that was Steele with his first points. So it makes it 18-9. Now Harrison has it. Harrison to the free throw line. Puts it over. McCoy firing it ahead. That off the rim. Trying to pull it down. Karsh with it. Karsh into the near corner. Karsh all the way over to Powell on the far sideline. Into the far elbow. Put back to McCoy. Now over on the near wing to Harrison. Harrison works his way around. Back over to McCoy. Into the far corner for Powell. Powell comes to the near side of the paint. Powell all the way over to Harrison, who grabs that out of midair. Goes in, but that's going to be a travel. 18-9 is our score. 9-point lead for Pioneer. That's going to be a turnover, so Monroe will have it. Perry gets it over to Brooks. Brooks brings it ahead for Monroe. Brooks over midcourt. Brooks right on the blockades. Comes over onto the near wing. Double team there as Bailey came over to help into the near corner. Trying to get to Steele. That out of bounds over to Pioneer. No, nope, it'll be over to Monroe again. Brooks to inbound on the near sideline. Brooks looking to get it in. Brooks gets it over as that's grabbed by Harvell, and that is going to be a turnover. Pioneer's ball. That's going to be a foul. I believe that was a push-off before getting the ball. I thought that was a foul. I might be wrong. And Monroe, Pioneer inbounds as Powell gets over to McCoy. McCoy brings that. Pioneer up. Now 18-9 as McCoy coming down the far sideline into the baseline, trying to bounce pass underneath as that's knocked away. As a good job trying to get that over as coming down the near sideline. With it is Steele. McCoy trying to pull that away. Now Phillips has it just on the near elbow. Phillips back over to Brooks. Brooks just inside of midcourt. Brooks has it. Brooks coming over on the far sideline. Now stolen away. Racing ahead with it. Down the paint. That put up and finger roll up and in. Tedlaw with his first points of the game. He has 2. And it's 20-9. Pioneer with the lead. Brooks brings it ahead for Monroe with 5:23 left to go. Brooks on the near wing. Brooks works his way to the near side of the paint. Up off glass, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Tedlaw. Tedlaw over to Harrison. Harrison quickly ahead to McCoy. McCoy on the near wing. Now to Harrison coming down the baseline, but a whistle. And it's going to be a reach-in foul on Brooks. Second foul on Brooks. Third in this quarter on Monroe. Robinson back in for Monroe as Tedlaw gets his shoe taken care of. Don't want anyone slipping and falling on a pair of laces. McCoy to inbound, baseline left. Robinson watching the inbound pass. McCoy gets it right in the paint. Harrison knifes towards the basket, off the front of the rim, pulled down. Coming the other direction, Perry for Monroe. Perry tipped away in the backcourt. Perry grabs it before it goes out of bounds. Harrison, tight coverage back there. Now Steele on the near wing. McCoy watching Steele. Steele comes to the top of the key and pulled away by Powell. And it's going to be a foul on Powell. 4:50 left to go here in the second. 20-9. Pioneer with the 11-point lead. Frazier to inbound. Frazier into the backcourt over to Perry. Perry for Monroe brings it ahead. Perry gets over midcourt. Powell watching him. Now over to Frazier. Frazier coming down the near side of the paint. Frazier puts it up off glass, off the front of the rim, pulled down. That put up and in by Phillips. So Phillips with his first points of the game. Now knifing through. McCoy puts it in. Oh, it rims all the way around. Falls out. Robinson with that rebound. Here comes Monroe down by 9. As Perry has it down towards the baseline. Stolen away by Bailey. Coming ahead with it is Powell. Powell down the near side of the paint. He finger rolls it up and in. Powell with 6 points. 22-11. 11-point lead for Pioneer. Robinson has it in the front court for Monroe. Gets it back over to Frazier. Frazier looking for a place to go with it. Frazier goes over to left-hand side. Gets it for Perry down the baseline. He's double-teamed. Perry back over to Robinson. Travel called. That'll be Pioneer's ball. 3:49 left to go here in the second. Harville in for Monroe. Karsh comes back in for Pioneer. 3:49 left to go here in the second. Karsh inbounds it to McCoy. McCoy brings it ahead. McCoy over midcourt. McCoy over on the near wing. Hands off to Harrison. Harrison gets a screen from Tedlaw. Harrison on the far wing. Bounce pass underneath. Tedlaw with it. Tedlaw goes up and in. Tedlaw with 4 points. And it is 24-11. Pioneer with that 13-point lead. Harrison with the assist on that. Monroe wants to talk it over. 30-second timeout. As you do have a team that you're trying to change the culture, trying to change, what are you telling them in the huddle to try and keep them from like staring at how much they're down by and trying to make this comeback?
Well, Coach mentioned in the pregame interview he wants to control the tempo, and it's been a challenge because Pioneer's picking up on their entry passes and getting a deflection, and it turns into their transition game and some easy points. So maybe he's saying, let's spread out. Let's just be very careful with the ball when we pass. Let's keep dribbling to a minimum and keep the movement going. Sometimes players, as the game progresses, they tire. They have a tendency to stand, or before they release after a pass, they just hesitate a second. That's easy to defend.
Oh, sure. As Monroe will inbound on the far sideline, Frazier gets it into Robinson. Back to Frazier. Harrison comes over midcourt to pick up Frazier. Frazier over the blockades. Frazier on the far sideline. Harrison tight coverage, one of the best defenders Pioneer has. Into the far corner, trying to get to that all the way out. As Harrison steals the pass from Harville. Harrison down the far side of the paint, puts it up and in. Harrison with 4 points, and it's 26-11. Pioneer by 15 with 3:04 left to go. Steele over midcourt. It's Karsh watching him. Now McCoy coming over to try and double team that. Ball picked up, now fired off top of the key. Frazier for 3. Frazier nails it. as he's able to put it in. Frazier with 5 points leads all Monroe scores. As Pioneer trying to get it over to Bailey. Bailey able to hold it in. 2:43 left to go. Here before halftime, Harrison for Pioneer coming down the baseline, puts it up off glass and in. That was impressive to put it in off balance. And Harrison has 6 points. It's 28-14. Pioneer by 14. Steele for Monroe has it in the front court. Steele on the near wing. Working against Karsh. Karsh trying to keep in front of him. Steele over into the far corner. Gets it back from Frazier. Now Robinson on the near wing. Bounce pass over to Phillips outside the paint. Poked away. As good job by Pioneer. McCoy brings it. Bounce pass to Tedlaw. Finger roll up and in. Tedlaw with 6 points. And it's 30-14. Pioneer with a 16-point lead. 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Frazier brings it ahead. Harrison in the backcourt. Frazier over midcourt. Frazier fires it all the way over to Robinson on the far sideline. Underneath, Tedlow with the steal. Here comes Bailey. Bailey brings it for Pioneer. Bailey has it in the far corner, down the baseline, up and in. Bailey takes it coast to coast. He has his first points of the game. 1 minute, 36 seconds left. And Monroe wants to talk things over as that transition game. Pioneer's defense really doing a good job getting in the passing lanes. How are they reading those passes? Is it just good positioning or?
Well, it's probably a number of things. It's position. And again, I can't emphasize enough. When you're playing a man-to-man or any defense, you've got to see the ball first. That's your primary thing. Then the man you're responsible for second. But Monroe is very deliberate in their passes right now. And a little hesitation can give a defender that's a lot of time just to get a finger on the ball or a steal. And that's happened over and over again. So Monroe's got to start thinking transition-wise, we got to get back. We can't give up uncontested layups or short jumpers.
That transition game, that fast break has been really humming for Pioneers. So they have made Monroe pay whenever they've gotten the ball off of rebounds, but especially steals. 1 minute, 36 seconds left to go here before halftime. 32-14. Pioneer with the lead. Karsh covering the inbound. Steele double teamed in the corner. Gets it ahead to Robinson, and that's going to be out of bounds. So Harrison using the sideline to help coverage, and Harrison gets the turnover as he'll inbound it right in front of us. Harrison over as McCoy brings it over midcourt. McCoy overhands it to Bailey. Bailey on the near wing over to Karsh. Karsh over to Tedlaw, top of the key. Now Tedlaw hands it off to Harrison. Harrison on the far wing, comes top of the key. Bailey for three. Bailey hits it. Bailey has 5 points, and it's 35-14. Pioneer with the lead. 1:11 left to go. Brooks over midcourt for Monroe. Brooks on the near wing. Bounce pass. As Steele going over, Steele loses his footing, goes out of bounds. There might be a wet spot on the court there as his foot just slipped out from underneath him. It's going to stay Monroe's ball. Brooks will have it on the near sideline with 64 seconds left to go. Brooks gets it inbounded to Perry. Perry has Harrison watching him. And stolen away by Harrison. Harrison quickly the other direction. Harrison gets it over to McCoy. McCoy with the finger up and in. Harrison with the rebound up, in, and the foul. Good job by Harrison. Get the rebound. Unselfish to get it over to McCoy. McCoy with the good job, but that just flipped off. Harrison right there.
Great second effort, and if you noticed, he got that rebound with both hands. He kept it high. He did not bring it down. He kept it above his head, exploded up, and got the bucket.
Trying to make it 38 points with an end one. Harrison puts it up. Off the side of the rim, pulled down by Brooks. 52 seconds left before halftime. Monroe with the ball. Brooks over midcourt. Brooks trying to make his way. That tipped away as Harrison trying to hold it in over to McCoy. No whistle. McCoy puts it up and in. Great job by Harrison to keep it in and quickly firing it over to McCoy. 39-14. Pioneer with the lead. Brooks brings it ahead for Monroe with 30 seconds left to go before half. Now bounce pass over Steele. That is going to go out of bounds. That is going to stay Monroe ball, and that's going to be a foul on Karsh. So Karsh picks up his first foul. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Monroe. 26.1 seconds left to go. Brooks inbounds. Gets it to Robinson, right on the blockade. Tedla watching him. Robinson comes over the far side, hands it off to Brooks on that far sideline. Brooks just inside of half court, moves it over to Steele. Steele on the R for Pioneer. Steele comes to the near side now. Steele, top of the key, trying to come to the near elbow, into the paint, puts it up off glass, wouldn't go. Tedla with the rebound, coming ahead is Rink. Rink goes over to McCoy. McCoy stops, fires, pops, and that off the back of the rim, as that was close to a logo attempt there. And Pioneer has the lead, 39-14, as Pioneer outscores Monroe in the second. Monroe with 7 points, and Pioneer with 15. One more than they did in that first period. Taking a look, your top scorers, McCoy with 10, Harrison with 8. This is on the Pioneer side. Tedlow with 6, Powell with 6. One of those a dunk. It is 3 for Rink and 5 for Bailey and 1 for McVicker. On the other side, you have Frazier leading all Monroe scorers with 5, 2 for Robinson, 2 for Phillips. Make sure I have that in there. 3 for Brooks and 2 for Steele. So that is where we're at, 39-14. Pioneer with that 15-point lead. Anything you want to talk about in that first half, Coach?
Yeah, a couple things. Starting with Pioneer's offense, that's a pretty balanced attack, and that's got to be one of the best quarters of the season for Coach Marion. 25 points in that quarter, and they're averaging 15.
Indeed.
And you saw a little of everything here. We saw not just attack, offense with the dribble penetration. We saw second effort, like on rebounds, like we just saw with Harrison. And Harrison's done a little of everything, man. I like his play in the paint tonight. He's inviting contact. He wants to get that and get to the line and get to 3 points that way. There's been a lot of assists. My favorite one is this one just before the end of the half. He saves it out of bounds. Gets it to, was it McCoy?
McCoy, yep, McCoy
and
taking it in.
McCoy goes in for an uncontested layup. And Harrison's really taken anything Monroe will give him defensively. He'll go baseline. He'll dribble to the elbows and look for his teammates. Monroe, leading scorer this season, has got 2 in the first half. And their big man, Phillips, 6'5" post player, has just contributed 2 points too. And I'm sure Coach would like to get more points and rebounds out of both those guys. Toe-to-toe quickie stats. Pioneers out-rebounded them 13-9 in the first half. At the line, Pioneers shooting 60%, 3 out of 5. And Monroe's only got there once, and they're shooting 100%. Turnovers, that's a big one. Monroe has 9, Pioneer only has 3.
It's huge. Pioneer's got a lot of points off of those turnovers, too.
That's what I was going to say. A large percentage of those have turned into points. In the paint, Pioneers dominated, 18 points, and Monroe's had 10 in the paint. And even though it's senior night and seniors are getting minutes, they are contributing because Pioneer's bench outscored Monroe 15-2. 3-point field goals. Pioneers accumulated 12 points there. Pioneer also has 6 steals. We don't keep deflections, but I would say there's at least 4 or 5. We don't keep one of my favorite stats, forced turnovers.
Yeah.
They have a number of those. Forced turnovers, I mean, for example, you double team someone and because of the pressure, they throw the ball away or dribble off their foot or make a mistake one way or another.
Yeah. They've been really good with the help defense, getting that second player over to double team. That's been working very well so far in this game. There's not much the Pioneers been doing that hasn't been working thus far in this game. They're going to hope to cruise and continue to cruise on senior night. Obviously, Monroe trying to figure out how to kind of dig into this Pioneer lead and how to get things going back the other direction. Before we take a little bit of a break, do you want to read the You Make the Call?
Sure. Here's the scenario tonight, Mark. We have 2 teams. Team A is on offense, Team B defense. Team A A20 jumps in a try for goal, and defender B25 knocks the ball out of A20's hands prior to A20 releasing the shot. A20 controls the loose ball while in the air, returns to the floor in possession of the ball, and begins a dribble. What is the call? What is the result? You have four choices. A, is that a jump ball? B, is that a traveling violation? C, would that be a double dribble violation? Or D, it's legal and play continues.
So we'll step away. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we'll be right back with your SEC scoreboard report and the answer to You Make the Call. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Let's do a little bit of a scoreboard report here. So back on the 31st, it was Huron beating Dexter 75-36. Pioneer beat Temperance Bedford 83-63, and it was Lincoln beating Skyline 48-41. On the 1st of February, Muskegon beat Huron 66-46, and it was Saline beating Monroe 45-40. On the 4th of February, Huron beat Pioneer by 5 points, 60-55. Tight game there. Skyline beat Dexter 45-36. It was Temperance Bedford beating Monroe 54-35, and Ypsilanti Lincoln beating Saline 42-41. On the 5th, it was Monroe beating Dundee 46-34. Scheduled games today, it's Huron visiting Ypsilanti Lincoln and Temperance Bedford hosting Skyline, Saline hosting Dexter. In the SEC Whites, on the 31st, it was Adrian beating Jackson 59-34. Tecumseh beat Chelsea 72-59. It was Ypsilanti Community topping Pinckney 64. On February 4th, it was Adrian 55, Chelsea 54, Jackson 60, Pinckney 43, and Tecumseh 66, and Ypsilanti Community 43. Let's get back to that you make the call. So taking a look here on here we have, again, two teams. A from A20 jumps in for a try for a goal, and the defender B25 knocks the ball out of A's 20's hands prior to A20 releasing the shot. A20 controls the loose ball while in the air, returns to the floor in possession of the ball, and begins to dribble. What is the result? A jump ball, B, a traveling violation, C, a double dribble violation, or D, legal, the play continues. Well, if the ball wasn't knocked away, that would be if you jump up and don't release it and come down, that would be a double dribble. But because it was knocked away and they lost possession, I'll say D, legal, the play continues. All right, so I got that one. Excellent. Excellent. You have had some really, really good ones, and always good to learn more about the rules, and very grateful as we're back under play. Harrison gets it over. I appreciate all the work you do getting those questions, Coach. McCoy trying to fire it underneath the Powell. That tipped away. Harrison has it on the far wing. Harrison into the paint. Over into near corner from McCoy, who thought about it. He comes down the baseline over to Harrison on the near wing. Harrison down the near side of the paint, trying to pull it over. That is going to be a jump ball. Possession goes over to Monroe. 7:41 left to go. Brooks inbound on the near sideline. Brooks brings it ahead as he approaches midcourt. McCoy watching him there. Brooks bounce pass over on the far side to Robinson. He has Dumboya Manga on top, watching him now down the baseline. Robinson goes. There's a whistle, travel. That goes over to Pioneer. 7:24 left to go here in the third. 39-14, Pioneer with a 15-point lead. McCoy brings it ahead for Pioneer. Pioneer in their home whites, Monroe in their road reds. McCoy right inside of the blockades. Moves it over to Powell on the far wing. Powell over to Harrison, top of the key to the free throw line. Back to Powell. Powell for three. Oh, rims out. Tough luck miss. Pulled down by Frazier, coming the other direction. Robinson stolen away by Harrison. That over to McCoy. McCoy over midcourt. Gets it to Harrison. Harrison on the far wing. Harrison comes to the free throw line. Over on the near wing is Powell. Powell over on the far wing to McCoy. McCoy back to Powell. Powell, here comes the three-pointer. That one off the rim, but Robinson fouls him. McCoy goes to the line to shoot three. And again, if you have someone who's a great shooter like Powell, last thing you want to do is put him to the line. If he's not feeling the touch, 3 free throws might cure that.
Well, that's true. That gives a player confidence.
First one up and in by Powell. He has 7 points. His 2-pointers have been great. It's just a little off from 3-point today, but I assume he'll get that figured out. Next one up by Powell. He'll put that in, nothing but net. So Harvell in for Monroe. Powell has one more coming. He's made it 41, trying to make it 42 points. Powell fires it off the back of the rim, fell away, over and picked up by Perry. Monroe with it in the backcourt. Brooks brings it ahead for Monroe. Brooks calling out signals as he goes over the blockades. Bounce pass over to Frazier into the near corner. As working his way, Perry has it. Perry trying to work his way around. He's on the near sideline. Perry, bounce pass. Snaps back over to Harvell. Now Brooks has it. Brooks on the far wing. Brooks moves it over to Perry, top of the key. Perry trying to work his way down the far side of the paint as Harrison grabbing the ball from behind, but a whistle and a foul. That is going to be on Dumboya Manga. Perry to the line. He will shoot 2. 6:11 left to go here in the third. 41-14. Up off the front of the rim, wouldn't go.
It's got to come up slower and concentrate. Looks like he's got good mechanics. Let's see if he bends his knees, comes up a little slower, he's going to knock it down.
That one up and in, just like you called it. And put in by Perry as McCoy coming ahead for Pioneer, 41-15. Pioneer with the lead. Powell to the free throw line, puts it up and in. Nothing but net on that one. As Monroe coming ahead. Powell, by the way, now has 10 points. As Frazier comes over midcourt for Monroe. Harrison watching him. Frazier, top of the key. Frazier, bounce pass underneath. McCoy trying to knock that away, and that caused enough to cause the turnover as they had Brooks right underneath the basket. Great job by McCoy to flash in front of that pass. Now Karsh inbounds it to McCoy. 5:45 left to go. 40 in the third. 43-15. Pioneer with the lead. They're ahead by 28 if I can do some basic math. Harrison has it. Harrison underneath the Powell. Powell up and in. Powell with 12 points. He leads all scorers. So 45-15, 30-point lead for Pioneer. Brooks brings it ahead. Brooks over midcourt as McCoy trying to knock that away. He'll get caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That's going to be a foul on McCoy. All the way back, picked up. Powell trying to steal it away, and that goes out of bounds. Does anyone still have cookie jars?
I was just thinking about that. I know we don't. I just take a sleeve of the Girl Scout cookies.
There you go, absolutely. Up ahead, that's put up and in, as that was Steele who has 4 points. Pretty sure his serving size is a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies, but that's okay. That is going to be a carry, and that's going to go over to Pioneer. 5:04 left to go. 45-17. 28-point lead for Pioneer. Karsh will inbound on the near sideline. Karsh will have it. Being watched by Steele. Karsh gets it all the way back to McCoy. McCoy in the backcourt. Brings it in with 5 minutes left to go here in the third. McCoy down the near side over to Powell. Powell on the near wing. Down the near side of the paint. All the way to McCoy. McCoy for three. He hits it. McCoy with 13 points. Three of those scores, 9 points worth of three-pointers is the English I'm trying to say. Brooks over on the near wing. Brooks on the near sideline. McCoy watches him. That's skied up. Picked up as trying to steal it away. Karsh. And fired from the far corner by Steele. Picked up. Karsh with another rebound. Here comes McCoy over midcourt. McCoy. Oh, gets it underneath to Harrison. Harrison up high off the glass. That pulled down by Harville. Monroe heading the other direction. 48-17. 31-point lead by Pioneer. Brooks, top of the key. Brooks trying to find Perry. Brooks gets it over to Harville, then back just outside the blockades. 4 minutes left to go here in the third. In along the far sideline is Perry. Perry. Work his way around the three-point line, working against Powell. Perry into the paint. Couldn't get the shot away, but there will be a foul. Shooting two, I believe that's going to be on Powell. Second foul on Powell. Now Pioneer with 4 fouls, one more. That's going to put Monroe to the line. And we have 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in this period. And up and in by Perry. He has 2 points. His other lone point came off of a free throw. So Dumboyamega goes out. Rink back in. So you have Gary in for Pioneer. His first action of the game. Another senior. That up, rolls around, wouldn't go. Karsh trying to get that out of bounds. That would be Pioneer's ball as that went off a steal. 3 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the third. Pioneer inbound, baseline left. They have the 30-point lead. Harrison over midcourt. Harrison coming down the far sideline. Calls out signals. Harrison over to Gary. Gary gets it back to Harrison on the near wing. Harrison down the near sideline as that's kicked away. Robinson with it. Robinson moves that to Perry. Perry for Monroe. That knocked away by Harrison, but got back by Frazier. Now Perry at the free throw line into the paint. Puts it up high off the glass. Wouldn't go. That rebound pulled down by Powell. Now grabbed by Karsh. Karsh for Pioneer. Floats it over into the far corner for Gary. That knocked away. It's Gary looking for a three-pointer, but that poked out. And it's going to be Pioneer to inbound baseline right. Harrison to inbound with 3:12 left to go here. In the third, now Rink onto the far wing. Gets it over to Powell. Powell back to Harrison on the far wing. Harrison gets it to Rink. Rink, top of the key now over on the near wing. Powell back to Rink, top of the key. To the free throw line to Karsh. Now Powell coming down the near baseline. Powell over into the far corner for Harrison. There's Rink for three, and Rink gets it. Rink has 6 points on his second three-pointer, and it's 51-18. Pioneer with the lead. Brought ahead by Frazier on the far sideline. Steele with it. Robinson trying to get it. That's stolen away by Harrison. Harrison pushing the tempo. Harrison floats it up high, trying to get to Powell. Powell underneath the basket, trying to put it up. Underneath, there's a whistle. I think that might have... Phillips picks up the foul. 2 fouls on Monroe. That is going to be Pioneer ball as they'll inbound it baseline right. As Dula Ogun in for Pioneer. Dula Ogun gets over to Rink. Rink on the near wing. Rink. Top of the key for Powell. Powell. Over to Dula Ogun. Just inside of the far sideline. Back over to Rink. Rink. Over on the near wing to Powell. Now gets it back to Dula Ogun just off the top of the key. Powell gets it back. Powell comes down into the near corner all the way across the way. That put up by Rink. And Rink hits it. He has 9 points on 3 3-pointers. And it's 54-18. Pioneer with the lead. 2 minutes left to go here in the third. As bringing ahead is Brooks. Over on the near wing, Frazier. Frazier comes down the baseline, stops, pops, and puts it in. Frazier has 7 points. He leads all Monroe scores as Powell brings it for Pioneer. Powell down the near side of the paint. Takes a step into the paint, puts it up, puts it in. Powell leads all scores as he has 14 points. 56-20, Pioneer with the lead as that's a 36-point lead. As over onto the near wing, Steele with it, Steele. Coming, dribbling, trying to get it top of the key. Gary with tight pressure there. Over to Brooks on the far wing. Dulogan watching him. Now Robinson, and there is going to be a timeout as Monroe wants to talk things over. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go here. As 56-20, Pioneer has really been pushing play. What are your thoughts so far on the third here, Coach?
Yeah, Pioneers keeping their composure. I've been counting offensive the passes, and one possession was 7, and it ended up with a 3. They're taking their time, and they're reading the defense and attacking what they think is a weakness at the time. So, with the score being what it is and the time on the clock, a lot of teams play gets a little bit loose, and it's not as disciplined as it should be.
Indeed.
But thus far here with 1:15 to go in the third, I think Pioneer is showing very good composure.
And they're bringing in the bench. They're really bringing in a number of players, and each person is coming in is keeping their responsibility. They've been able to rotate a lot, and that keeps them fresh and really keeps them able to do that fast break. As Monroe has the same players out there, they got to start getting a little gassed at that point. We do want to again thank the Karsh family. Wants to thank Cousin Mike and Cousin Brady watching out from Toronto and San Diego. Thank you very much for watching and supporting these teams wherever you are watching. We are grateful. Brooks has it. And the block A is being watched by Dulogan. Brooks bounce pass over to Steele on the far sideline, down on the baseline, knocked away by Gary. Here comes Gary ahead for Pioneer. That slips away. Coming back the other direction is Brooks. Brooks gets it over to Frazier on the near wing. Frazier trying to get it into the paint to Phillips. Phillips puts it up. Left-handed hook there. Phillips puts it in. A little bit of a sky hook there as that put on the far wing. Bailey over. Now there's a three-pointer fire. Karsh puts it in. Karsh sinks a big three-pointer. That's his first points of the game. He's had a lot of rebounds and some good steals, but he gets on the scoreboard as well. 33 seconds left to go here in the third. 59-22. Steele has it for Monroe on the near wing, being watched by Karsh. Gary comes over to double team, bounce pass to Robinson in the near corner. Robinson gets it back to Steele, top of the key. Now over to Brooks, just inside the far sideline. New Logan gets screened by Robinson. Now over onto the far sideline with it. Frazier into the paint to Phillips. That pulled away. Coming at the other direction is Karsh. Karsh over to Gary. Gary stops, fires. Oh, off the back of the rim. Looked like it was going to be good. That tied up between Bailey and Phillips. That should be a jump ball, I believe. Possession arrow does point Pioneers' way. 0.7 seconds left to go. This will be tough to get a shot off, though. As Dulogan looks to inbound it, really you got to just put it up high and have someone tip it in. With less than a second, Karsh puts it off. Good shot, got away in time, but just couldn't sink it. As here at the end of three, 59-22, Pioneer scoring 20 points in the third, and it would be at that point 6, 7, 8 points for Monroe. Thoughts on any other thoughts on that third period there, Coach?
Well, I think once again, Pioneer controlled the quarter offensively and defensively.
Absolutely.
And we may be 8 minutes away from a great senior night.
Absolutely. That's what you hope for. It's never fun to have the opposing team come in and spoil your senior night, and they're looking to push things out there. As at this point, we are approaching, by the way, and I want to thank Kim for looking this up because I could not remember off the top of my head. If it is a 40-point differential, Kim was able to look that up for me. It'll become a running clock at 40 points. Now, we're not there yet. We may not get there, but just wanted to let people know. You're all of a sudden like, why is the clock not stopping? It's hard when you do as many sports. I love broadcasting a lot of sports, but trying to remember the mercy rule in every one of them gets tough.
Yeah.
So.
And they're changing all the time.
Oh, of course. Trying to make it so they give people an opportunity to come back, but no one gets too tough an evening.
The G League now for overtime is the first team to 7 points, and they're thinking about changing that for the NBA.
Interesting. As that bounce pass over to Phillips. Phillips stolen away by Bailey. Bailey brings it ahead. Now coming ahead. Here comes Dulogan. Dulogan over. Stolen away by Robinson. Robinson the other direction. Robinson stops, fires, puts it in. As Robinson now has 4 points. That was a big steal by him. Dulogan pushing it into the far corner. McVicker puts it up. McVicker off the rim, trying to pull it down. That out of bounds off of Bailey. Well, that'd be interesting. Sometimes you get a lot of those games that you end up with second, third overtime, and 1st to 7 might keep things going and keep a little bit more intensity in overtime.
Well, in Muskegon, I had a game we went 5 overtimes.
Oof, have mercy. That'll definitely wear everybody out. You're hoping you don't have a game the next evening. Into the near corner comes Brooks. Brooks bounce pass over to Phillips on the baseline. All the way back. Here comes Rink. Rink races back past the defense. Up and in. Rink puts it in, and Rink now has himself 11 points. One of the 9 seniors on the squad tonight. That up ahead. Now coming in, Steele into the paint, and that is going to be a whistle and a foul. The seniors are Demboya Mega, McCoy, Rink, Powell, Gary, Karsh, Lee, McVicker, and Tedlaw. Really good senior class here. So it's a little worrying when you have that many seniors. You wonder what will happen next year, but that's next year's problem. That put up, and Phillips off the rim, pulled down by Tedlaw. Tedlaw gets it over to Dulogan. Dulogan over midcourt. Dulogan on the near wing. Dulogan. Now comes top of the key, gets over to Bailey. Bailey for 3. Bailey hits the three-pointer. Bailey with 8 points, and it's 64-24. And
well, speaking of next season, I spoke with Coach Wolf for a minute. You know, the JV's only lost 1 game this season, so there's players coming.
That is impressive, absolutely. Back top of the key, now over onto the far wing, trying to work his way down is Steele. Steele puts it up, that off the bottom of the glass, but a whistle and a foul. And that clock continues to go as it is a 40-point differential. Now, if Steele hits this, it'll go under 40 points, and we will go back to regular clock timing. So important free throws here for Steele. So he tries to get it under 40 points. Steele puts it up and puts it in. Nothing but net on that one. So that's going to stop the clock now, or it should, right?
Yep.
Because now we're underneath that. Maybe it'll happen after the free throws because this is one continuation. So Steele trying to get his next point up, and that's good. So Steele hits them both, and we go under 40. Coming ahead with it, Dulogan has it. Dulogan over midcourt. Dulogan comes top of the key now to the near or far elbow underneath the McVicker. McVicker puts it up. That's just a little long to the near side. Pulled down by Brooks. Brooks feeds it. As that back over, Brooks brings it ahead. Brooks comes over midcourt. Brooks over on the near wing. Brooks into the near corner with it. Brooks gets it back over to Frazier. Frazier trying to get it underneath. That knocked away by McVicker. McVicker for Pioneer over to Rink. Pioneer up by a score of 38 points. Dulogan underneath. Now McVicker into the near corner. McVicker to Tedla, top of the key. Tedla stops, comes down the far paint. That tipped out of bounds. That's going to stay Pioneer ball with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Pioneered inbound, baseline right. Dulogan gets it in as that's pulled as Tedla down to the court. That pulled away by Robinson. Robinson all the way down onto the near wing over midcourt. Now Frazier has it. Frazier into the near corner for Monroe. Back to Robinson, top of the key. Over on the far wing to Steele. Steele down the baseline, up and in. And one. So Steele will have 8 points. Saito looks to come in for Pioneer. First Steele trying to make it a 3-point play, and he does. That makes it 9 points. So Saito in for Pioneer. Saito has it, brings it ahead. Saito over midcourt, 3:27 and counting into the far corner, put up by Rink for 3. Pulled down by Robinson. Robinson over to Brooks. Here comes Monroe the other direction with 3:18 left to go. Into the near corner. That fired by Frazier for 3. Wouldn't go. Rebound by Rink. Quickly ahead to Saito. Saito down the far sideline. Saito on the far wing as the bench really cheering for him. Saito gets a screen down the baseline. Moves it over to McVicker. Up. Wouldn't go. McVicker with the rebound. Trying a hook that knocked away and a foul.
Excellent pass from Saito. He saw the man rolling to the bucket. He gave him a nice bounce pass.
And got McVicker to the line as McVicker with 1 point. The opportunity to put a pair in here as that's up off the back of the rim. Wouldn't go. 64-29. Pioneer with a 35-point lead. Good student section here today, by the way. Second one rims out into the far corner as that's knocked off of McVicker by Steele. Brooks to inbound. 2 minutes, 5 seconds and counting as Brooks brings the head for Monroe. 64-29. Pioneer with the lead. Steele on the far sideline, trying to get around McVicker, down to the baseline, double team. Bounce pass trying to get to Phillips, stolen away. Coming ahead the other direction, here comes Sai. Sai puts it up, high grab by Tedla. Tedla saves the rebound, gets it over. Saito for 3, off the rim as Sai underneath, and he will get fouled. That's going to put Sai to the line as he'll be shooting 2. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go here. Or excuse me, that will say not in the act of shooting. They'll say that as he was coming down with the rebound. So that will be a inbound by Saito. Baseline right, Saito all the way out to Sai. Sai on the far wing, over on the near wing. And McVicker steps back, puts up a 3-pointer. Grabbed by Sai. Sai kicks it back to McVicker. McVicker to the free throw line, trying to move it over. Stolen by Frazier. Ahead to Steele. Steele down the far side of the paint. Finger roll up and in. Steele has 11 points, and it's 64 to 31. 33-point lead. We're under a minute left to go here. Saito has it. Saito over on the near wing to McVicker. 50 seconds left to go. Screen by Tedla at the near elbow. Back to Tedla in the near corner. Tedla puts up a three-pointer. Tedla rings it in. 9 points for Tedla. And it's 67 to 31. Pioneer with the lead. 35 seconds left to go. Steele has it all the way across. Over to Frazier. Frazier over to Phillips. Phillips on that baseline. Phillips back to Frazier down the near side of the paint. Puts it up. Rattles in the two-pointer. So Frazier has 9 points. Saito the other direction, 14 points. Gets it to Rink in the far corner. 10 seconds left to go in the game. McVicker has it. McVicker trying to just hold on to it, and that will do it. 3, 2, 1. Pioneer wins on senior night by a final of 67 to 33. So Pioneer with the big win. We take a look at who scored what, as leading all scorers with 15 points was McCoy. Powell with 14 points just behind him. And then taking a look, so 8 points for Harrison, 13 points for McCoy, 14 for Powell. He leads all scorers. 11 points for Rink, as I said, 8 for Harrison, 3 for Karsh, 8 for Bailey, 1 for McVicker, 9 for Tedla. On the other side, it was 11 for Steele, 3 for Brooks, 9 for Frazier, 2 for Perry, 4 for Robinson, and 4 for Phillips. What are your final thoughts on the contest there, Coach?
Well, we haven't called a game like this before that I remember.
I think this is the largest one we have had, indeed.
Yeah, a couple quick thoughts from me. I thought Pioneer played a good game team-wise. It wasn't just one or two players in that stat column. Seemed like everybody contributed, and that's what you want to see on senior night. And guys are getting more minutes than they're accustomed to. They came in the game. They didn't panic. They made good decisions most of the time.
Indeed.
And very unselfish play. Don't have the assist number, but that would be interesting to see. And a lot of it was off the transition game, and a lot of it was half-court set, just being a little patient and letting the offense turn into a cut to the basket and a score. Monroe is young. I count 8 players were dressed, 3 were sophomores. They're in the middle of building a program. And the coach talked about a big concern was rebounds.
Yes.
And game total wasn't that lopsided, actually. Pioneer 19, Monroe 16. At the line, Pioneer 5 of 10 for 50%. Monroe was 5 for 8. Maybe the biggest number that stands out is the turnovers. Pioneer, no, it's the other way around. I think Pioneer had 5 turnovers, and Monroe had 17. So triple that number.
It's good defense there, causing a lot of those, absolutely.
And like you mentioned earlier, a lot of those turnovers turned into uncontested layups on the break.
Indeed.
But this is nice too on senior night when you see the bench outscored your opponents 21-4.
It's impressive. They got a lot of people in.
Yep, and they got their minutes too. And the three-point line, Pioneers, 30 of their points were from the arc, while Monroe just had 1.
So good game. Pioneer wins on senior night, 67 to 33, trying to keep number 2 in the SEC red. And we want to thank our cameraman, James Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Kim doing an amazing job on the stats. And Coach Aaron's wonderful job on color commentary. Again, this is broadcast 996. We believe that next Wednesday, the Pioneer women's varsity game versus Saline should be our 1,000th broadcast. And we're very excited to bring that to you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. We'll be in Niagara for a pair of Michigan women hockey game. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.